The big take. So joining us now live, as promised, the former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows. Welcome. Question, did you know there were literal tears flowing at the Obama White House when Donald Trump won the first time? What do you say about that?
Well, it's because it became as such a shock, Ed, to them, and quite frankly, it's all about controlling government for the Democrats. The radical left Democrats want to make sure they can control government because they want to control the taxpayers' pocketbook at the same time. Listen, you've done a good job of laying out all the problems. The only reason why anyone would want to live in California is not their government. Their governor is just the weather. And and I can tell you what we have is Donald Trump going into campaign mode. I spoke to him last night talking about those 401ks that you mentioned are going through the roof. He says, Mark, you haven't seen anything yet. We want to continue to deliver on behalf of the American people leading up to November and beyond.
Did he mention anything about Iran, by the way? Because we could get in on the betting markets right now if you have a heads up.
Yeah, I'm not going to get in on the betting markets on Iran, but I will say that having dealt with Iran when I was in Congress, Ed, I am not optimistic that they are going to negotiate a deal. Literally, a nuclear Iran is what they've been after for decades. This president's not going to let them have it. And quite frankly, they will underestimate this president if they think that he is like President Biden or anyone else that preceded. This president will take action.
Absolutely. That's what we're expecting. They're giving diplomacy, I guess, one more chance. Let's get it back to the midterms because one of your successors as White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, is doing a great job right now. And she's been talking about getting this president in campaign mode. Here he is at the famous Varsity Burger restaurant. There's one in Atlanta, everyone knows. This is the one in Rome, Georgia. Look at the retail politicking.
45 years. 45 years. 24 years.
You're too young for that. Come on, wait. I'll get on. Let's get a good one.
My president right there.
Come on. Lord of the cash register.
The president had, you see him there, with a largely, a group of workers that were largely black a day after the Black History Month reception, where one woman after another went up to the podium and said, this man has stood up for me when the Democrats were not there for me, even though the Democrats always call him a racist. So you can comment on that, but the bigger picture to me is, what about getting him back in campaign mode and how important that's going to be between now and November?
Well, you're right. Susie's doing a great job. She came out of the campaign and now is doing an excellent job as his chief of staff. But you got to see it right there. It's what the president does well, but it's also because he loves the people that he gets to connect with. That is his real polling. When he's out there talking to them, he gets their input, and then he makes his team act on it. And so I can also say that when he is doing that, he's taking the message to average Americans who perhaps don't see it in the legacy media. They may see it here on Newsmax, but they don't see it in some of the legacy media that he's really connecting with the average American.
So you're leading us perfectly because you've been inside that White House, you've been on Capitol Hill, dealing with voters directly, your constituents, and you got this mainstream media that's just negative on Donald Trump no matter what. We see all these great statistics, and yet the latest Ipsos Reuters survey shows him with a net approval on the economy of minus 23%. And in terms of an approval or disapproval on cost of living in America right now, affordability, I guess is the buzzword, negative 31%. Even though he's on the phone with you last night, the commander-in-chief saying 401ks are through the roof, inflation is down, economic growth is up. So how do you battle this media? How do you get the message around that mainstream media to tell the American people and convince them that it is getting more affordable and that it's not just Wall Street statistics, but life is getting better under Donald Trump?
Listen, the legacy media, what they will do many times, Ed, is, and you know this better than most, is they will go with a narrative. That narrative has been baked in for the last 6 months. But what we didn't see was inflation coming down, gas prices coming down. What we're about to see are interest rates coming down. And when that trickles in, we'll see the housing market go go through the roof once again. I think it'll be just in time for July, August, and you'll see those polls turn around. But more importantly, the American people can't be fooled by a poll. They know what it is, and they may answer a poll one way, but they're going to vote with their pocketbooks come November, and that'll be a good sign for the president and the Republicans during the midterms.
And they're going to have some tax refund checks, but